You know, it's interesting, Joe, because a lot of people have been discussing, you know, the soul searching for the Liberal Party. What does it stand for? What should the Liberal Party's policies be? And those are all, of course, legitimate questions. But we saw that Labor's attack on the coalition in this Aston by-election, this crucial by-election, wasn't on policies, mostly. It was attacking Peter Dutton. And they ran attack ads, corflutes, the whole thing, putting him front and centre. What do you think this says about his leadership and what Labor know about his leadership?
Look, I think I generally don't like attack ads, but they are very, very effective. And I don't think you can say, oh, it's not fair, we only lost because they attacked us. That's obviously something that's going to happen in an election, and especially a by-election as critical as this one. I think what this shows is that Labor has completely and utterly and quite deliberately, and it's been a process that has taken many years and it has been a long and hard-fought process, but Labor has captured the middle ground. And if you win the centre in Australian politics, you win elections, you win the day, and you win them well. And I think what we're seeing is voters were sick of the Morrison government in 2022. They were sick of the coalition, quite frankly, I think, and they weren't quite sure whether or not Labor was worthy of their vote. So they sort of scattered their votes to the four wins. And since Anthony Albanese has become Prime Minister and has remained true to that centrist, moderate, mainstream vision of Australia, vision of the Labor Party, then they've actually had a look and gone, you know what, he's a safe pair of hands. He's tough on national security. He's talking about cost of living, not getting distracted by all these culture war issues. And I do feel for the Liberal Party that they're caught between two.
You're both here praising Anthony Albanese, but isn't it also the case that Dutton is clearly highly unpopular among voters, particularly in Victoria?
Yeah, I was about to say, sorry, I feel for Peter Dutton and the Liberal Party because they are caught between a rock and a hard place. We know all this. The Teals are eating away at them. I mean, if they move to the centre or they move to these more touchy-feely issues in Teal territory, will they ever be able to actually get those votes off the Teals? Because the Teals will always be able to promise more, and these people are sort of feel-good voters. They're not particularly interested in pragmatism. And likewise, we've seen in the New South Wales state election, the One Nation vote, the One Nation threat just isn't as bad as both Labor and Liberal thought it was. And so clearly
especially not after the latest Mark Latham incident, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly right. So so it's kind of almost as though Dutton said, all right, yes, well, the future now is in going more towards the middle, but there's already someone sitting in his seat.
Yeah. Andrew Carswell, I should remind viewers that you were the Senior Press Secretary for Scott Morrison, so you know the inside machinations of government and of politics. What do you think this result says about Dutton's leadership? Do you think he's going to last? Will he be the leader who takes the Liberals to the next election?
Oh, look, I think he will, Sharri, and it's for a want of an alternative within the party themselves. I do feel for Peter. I think Peter's a great guy, and he's misunderstood in the electorate, I think. And part of that is because he's had to be a tough cop on the beat. He's had to be the bulldog for consecutive coalition governments, whether it be as a defence minister or as an immigration minister. So he's had to have, you know, to be fronting the media in a more of an abrupt, some may say a callous way, which kind of belies his true character. So he's had to play that role, but he is deeply misunderstood, and hopefully, moving forward, he can outline his own positions and his own beliefs in a more articulate way that can be understood by the public.